May is Stroke Awareness Month, and Providence Health is bringing attention to this serious medical condition that can strike when you least expect it. Fox 12's Connor McCarthy talked to a local man who shared his story of survival, all thanks to someone who recognized the symptoms.
James Harstad is a lifelong Oregonian, born and raised in Lebanon. He loves to fish and loves being a grandpa. But back in February, James's life changed.
There was nothing wrong with nothing until I run in the back of him.
James was driving down Ellsworth Street in Albany when he rear-ended Jacob Holzler, but he says he doesn't remember a thing.
I was just doing fine, and all of a sudden everything went blank.
Jacob looked back at James in his rearview mirror and immediately realized something was wrong.
In my last rear end, it was you look behind you and he's frustrated because, you know, he just hit a car and now he has to deal with that. But with James, it was different. There's really no recollection of what just happened.
Once they pulled off the road, Jacob noticed James couldn't turn off the car or speak properly. Jacob's uncle had recently suffered a stroke, and he realized James could be showing the signs of one.
Every once in a while, you kind of get like a grunt or like a hand wave. And so at that point, I had already called 911 and said that there's something going on. Definitely assumed it was a stroke or some other medical condition.
James was taken to a hospital in Albany where doctors found a blood clot in the back of his brain. He was then transferred to Providence St. Vincent, where he underwent surgery. Dr. Ted Lowenkopf is the regional director of the Providence Stroke Center and says that Jacob's initial recognition of James's stroke symptoms was critical because 2 million brain cells die per minute.
We have an expression in stroke care called time is brain. As soon as that blood vessel is blocked off by a clot, brain tissue starts to die.
Doctors quickly did a procedure where a small mesh tube is inserted into the groin and goes up through the blood vessels into the brain. This is a photo from James's procedure. You can see the small tube heading toward the dark area where the blood clot is located. The clot is grabbed and removed. Then you can see from this photo, blood flow returns to normal.
Right after the procedure, he was night and day better, not 100%. His weakness on the right side was much better. He was able to speak with a little bit of difficulty. And that's what we call a success story.
James is back to normal and says he wants to share his story so more people are aware that a stroke can strike at any time. And there are no hard feelings between James and Jacob.
I'm glad it happened the way it did. He was coming back from doing his taxes, so had he had a stroke in that parking lot just by himself in the car, no one would have stopped and thought twice, and he wouldn't have got that help he needed.
In Lebanon, Connor McCarthy, Fox 12 Oregon.
Doctors say each year 800,000 people in the United States are diagnosed with a stroke. Symptoms include loss of balance, blurred vision, drooping on one side of the face, weak arms, and speech difficulty.